Hi folks, so today's Wednesday, July 4th, 4th of July, and I'm about 3.5 years, I almost said months, this is ridiculous, I'm about 3.5 years on testosterone, which is mind-blowing, and I only realized that a few minutes ago. And yeah, so I just thought I'd make a video, but I won't really be talking about testosterone in this one, because first I should explain why I'm actually back. And I'll preface this with, I find it really hard to articulate how I felt. I can talk about how I'm feeling now, but I find it really hard to articulate how I felt and exactly what the experience that I had when I was in the wilderness. So I apologize that it's going to be pretty disjointed and I might just sort of skim it. But basically, so I was a camp counselor at an all-boys camp. And I got there, and I was there for, I think my cat's coming. Is my cat coming? No, he's not. Okay. I got there, and I was there for a week, skills week, so I learned a ton about farming with all the other camps, and there are a lot of camps in this organization. And ton about farming, like milked my first goat many a times, and milked a cow, and learned how to take care of pigs and chickens and weed and plant and everything basically that I could ever want to know. Made ice cream, that was wonderful. Learned felting. It was really cool. I even learned how to crochet. So there was a lot of stuff. I learned a lot in that week, and I'm so thankful for it. And I had a blast. Like even waking up at 5 a.m. and not getting to bed until like 11:30 or 12 at night. Was wonderful, and the living situations with like the open cabins and the open kaibos where it'd be like 2 toilet seats next to each other and you can just like poop with a friend, which I did at one point, but there was like a little barrier between us, and that was really awesome because he became one of my best friends. He's an awesome guy, and that was fun. And like just peeing on trees and whatever, that was fun. I have to admit, it was like built on this hill, and so we were at the bottom near the lake, and then you could walk up to the road and little dirt road, and it was just beautiful. It was absolutely, like, I got there and it was the most breathtaking like place I've ever seen, which was awesome. And you know, it was really exciting, and I was so optimistic going into it, but I realized through the course of the week, and this is, you know, 1 week, and the kids weren't coming for a week and a half after that week, that the anxiety that I was feeling about myself, because I had just gotten to this really good place with my identity and with my body and with how I was feeling. I got to a really good place, and all of a sudden I just felt so dislocated with just like this idea of being around all men all the time and my own identity as a man. I realized a big part of my identity as a man is the fact that like I became one, is the fact that there was a physical and emotional journey where I had to really step outside and cross lines in order to become who I am now. And so I guess what ended up happening is being around all men all the time, which is after that week where we got to be with all the other camps. There were like girls and everything. We were just going to be with our camp, so it was going to be like 60 men and like a few women who were doing various things like cooking or being a nurse or like outdoor activities, which was awesome. That was cool diversity. But in cabin staff it was all men, and I was the only trans guy that I knew of. But sort of feeling this anxiety of being stealth, of you know, not being open about my identity with the folks that I'm working with, and then knowing for sure I can't be like found out or open about it with the kids. It just caused me so much anxiety, and I was feeling like crap about myself. I was like, like constantly thinking about how I'm different than men, like realizing not that I'm like the same with them. And I just sort of, as I talked it out with 2 of my really close friends who were there, I realized, you know, what it comes down to is like this isn't quite the right environment for me to be forced to be stealth, which I don't really know if they're forcing me to be stealth, because they're super gentle about it and super nice, but it's sort of this understanding of like, you know, my body isn't something I want to have to worry about hiding all the time. So I was just like mentally declining it. It was like, and then the week after that, I went to my girlfriend. She was like an hour from there, and it was just like crash, boom, like shit, you know. I apologize for the language, but it was not good. I was just really freaking out about my own self and how I was constantly being reminded of my differences. Although I realized I do have a lot in common with 50 men, so that's cool as well. But I think what it came down to, and I had really great discussions with the directors, and I talked to them. I was like, there's also a lot of things at home that's going on. Like, we're moving to Maine, I believe. So that's going to happen within the next year. And just, like, being there for my mom, and then also realizing this might be my last summer in my town with my friends. There was a lot going on in my head, too. And it was literally, like, no contact with people the entire time I was there, except for if I got a day off every week, which... if that was the thing. So that was really tough too, and so my heart was being pulled to be home, and then myself, like my brain as I was there, was just like, what? Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you surrounded in this single-gendered environment? So I realized that maybe I identify more on this like fluid spectrum, and basically being surrounded by all males, or even being surrounded by all females, I'm sure. Like, being all one thing or the other just doesn't match with who I am. I like to be around people, you know? I don't like those people to be in, like, this gendered category. And so I think that's where it came in. I felt really confined, and I felt really forced, and it was just giving me such anxiety. And so I listened to my heart. And I left. And yeah, as I said, after that, it was kind of this crash boom, like, blah, of like, shit, like, I'm so, gotta stop swearing, of like, darn, I'm so upset that I really thought this was going to be the best place for me, and I'm so thankful for the week I was there, and I had fun, but I know that, like, going forward, it was just going to get worse and worse, especially when the kids got there, and I wouldn't be able to be a mentor for them if I was feeling like this, and, so... I just felt really down on myself, cause like, what am I gonna do for the summer, you know? It was really, really sad, and it's really a bummer, and my heart still kind of aches over it, because I was so excited about it for so long, but I think the thing that I'm really proud of myself for realizing is that not everywhere is for everyone, and I thought it would be for me, but it just wasn't. That's what it comes down to. It just wasn't a place for me. That's not to say a trans guy couldn't go there and be a counselor and have a great experience and like definitely not feel the things that I felt. Of course, I'm sure that, that has happened, and I'm sure that could happen in the future. So this is by no means to discourage any trans person from applying for, like, you know, a camp job at a single gendered camp, if they'll, like, hire you, because I guess you have to have all your forms legally changed. And so that also bothered me too, is a friend got denied working there because he hadn't had top surgery, and so it kind of made me feel like, oh, I got to sneak in, but then I had to be, like, really sneaky. So there was a lot going on, basically, and that was a long way of explaining it. So I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I put coconut milk in my coffee today. I highly recommend it, folks, if you drink coffee, which you probably shouldn't. It's really not good for you, so weaning off, but that's another story. So, what else? Anyway, I feel kind of low about it. I feel kind of like I gave up, but really I know in my heart I wouldn't have been doing well. I wasn't emotionally or physically feeling well and safe there. So, I peaced, and I'm really proud of myself for realizing that, but I'm still kind of upset about it. So, but let's be optimistic. So I came home. Well, I spent a week with my girlfriend, and I got to go meet a lot of her family, which was really great. I think that went really well, and things between us are getting exponentially better and better the longer she's home, so, like, since she's been back, so that's really great. And then I came home, and I actually, the day after I quit my camp job, I called my old job at the grocery store in my town. It was like a locally owned grocery store, and they gave me hours back, which was awesome because I'd been on like a 6-month leave of absence with them. So I've been working like 30 hours a week, which is great because I got bills to pay and everything. So that's wonderful, and I'm learning, and they've got me moving all around, so I'm learning a lot of different things, so that's exciting. I'm not, you know, being intellectually bored yet, so that's good. And also, you know, I'm helping my mom with getting the house ready to sell and all that, and spending time with my home friends, which is really lovely, and making music. And I just, like, we just got rid of, when we moved in, there was a pool table in the basement. We just sold that, so now there's all this space, and that's become kind of an art studio. Gotta beg my mom for that. So it's cool. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna hopefully be able to make a lot of art and music and spend time with my friends and just, you know, like get back to the good place that I was in, and then in the future see what happens. So that's basically where I'm at. So I'm home, and I'm like I'm on the upswing. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I'm like past the hard part, I think, and getting on back to feeling really good. So I'm really glad I went, and I do not regret it at all, and I do not by any means mean this like to scare people from going to be a camp counselor. It's just I was being honest with myself, so I'm being honest with you. It was a lovely place, but it just wasn't right. It wasn't right for me. But I made some lovely friends, and I'm really happy about that, so that's really good. And anyway, I hope everything's going well. I'm debating cutting my rat tail off. I know now I'm probably, if people made it this far in the video, I'm probably going to get a lot of comments being like, yeah, do it. But, like, kind of looks nicer now that it's longer. I don't know, I can't decide. I don't know what I'm going to do. But that's okay. It's a hot summer. Hot summer. Oh well. Alright. I'm basically just rambling at this point. So, if you check out my Facebook page, that's where I've been answering the most messages. I've been backed up since getting back, so I've got like 40 in there. But I do check that the most for messages. I just want to let everybody know multiple times. I do check that the most. And also I'll put a link to my music YouTube below, because I will be updating that, and to my blog as well. Actually, to a new song that I put on my blog. So I'll give you all that. That's what I've been up to. And I hope everyone's having a great summer so far. I definitely will make some more videos. If you have any suggestions for videos to make, I don't remember which ones, suggestions, definitely let me know. And I will see what I can do in my free time. Alright. I hope everyone's doing well. Peace.